So let us talk about the random variables. Let us say I have two dices here and I am doing an experiment which is rolling these two dices together. Now my possible sample space or the outcomes when I am rolling these two dices would be 1 1 1 2 till the point 6 6. So there would be 36 possible outcomes. Yes. Now let us say I have defined a problem and I want to calculate the probability such that sum of these outcomes 1 1 or 1 2 or whatever, sum of these outcomes from these two dices is equal to 5. What is the probability? So here my intention is not to calculate the probability, but let us say I have defined this problem statement. Now when you want to do some mathematics further, you again and again have to write this English statement, sum of outcomes from two dices is like that. Okay, so instead of writing this English statement, sum of outcomes from two dices, wouldn't it be better if I can write this problem as px is equal to 5? Yes, it would be better. Later I would be calling this x as the random variable, but don't bother for now that what is the random variable. I am going to define it now, but definitely it would be better if I will define this problem statement as px is equal to 5. Yes, then you can, in easy way, you can do the mathematics. Okay, so let us say I have defined a function called capital X. Now this is my function, then certainly it would be having the inputs. I am giving the input as the two possible outcome from the dices. Yes, so two possible outcomes means the one from this dice and one from this dice. So there would be like two values which you can get in each possible outcome. Yes, so either you will be getting this 1 1 or 1 2. So let us say I am defining these 1 1 1 2 or these from P and Q. Yes, and I am saying, or I am defining this function as sum of P and Q. So the output of that function would be the simply P plus Q. Yes. Now instead of writing this statement, once I have defined this function, I can write that probability of x is equal to 5 is equal to what? We can write this. Yes, because now this x would be giving the sum of outcomes. I'm saying the outcome as the outcome from single dice. Yes, so sum of outcomes means sum of these two values or the two outcomes which I will be getting from two dice. Yes, so it may be the 1 1 or 1 2 or whatever. So this is, I'm saying, sum of outcomes here would be the 1 plus 2. Yes, is equal to 3. Okay, fine. So once I have defined x as that function and function is sum of P and Q, then I can write P probability of x is equal to 5, because now this x would be giving me this statement. Yes, or the probability or the sum of P and Q, which are my outcomes from two dices. So this x we call the random variables. In another word, I can say this statement as, or let me define what is the value. So the output of that function we call the value. When you give some input P and Q, which are the outcome from these two dices, then the output of that function would be the sum of p and q, that we call as value. So for the each possible outcome, like pair of the outcomes 1 1 or 1 2 or whatever, there would be a value associated. Yes, so for each input I would say there would be an output. If you give the 1 1, then the value associated with that outcome 1 1 would be the 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Yes, so when I'm saying what is the probability of x being equal to 5, I can also write it as what is the probability that this random variable x is going to have the value equal to 5. Yes, in certain books it is being written that probability of x is equal to small x. What does that mean is, what is the probability that this random variable is going to have the value is equal to small x. Now just remember, this random variable is a function and this value is the output of that function. Now what value this random variable will take depends on what function we have defined. Now I can also define this function as multiplication of two outcomes. Yes, so it depends on me how I'm associating that function. So I can define the sum, multiplication, divide. Yes, so it depends on me. So just remember, when you are writing this statement, this is the random variable and random variable is just the function, and this small x is the value which is just the output of that function. Yes, okay, so this is the concept of random variable. Now in the later videos maybe I will be defining what is the probability of random variable taking some values in some range or whatever. Yes.